Hey everybody, I'm Emily, a designer with the Quilted Cow, and today I'm so excited to bring you our Helpful Heifer gift bags. These are wonderful little bags that you will want to make for any occasion that you have. First though, I'd like to thank our sponsors. We have Viking Husqvarna Machines, Creative Grids, Cutters, Rulers, and Mats, and Wilmington Prints Fabrics. All right, welcome back. So the gift bag is a wonderful little bag that you can make to wrap any present in. So you can make it holiday themed, you can do any sort of occasion that you have to give a gift. So all of your gift giving holidays, this is the perfect bag for you. You can also customize it to the size that you want, and these little cute little corners here are so great. They look like a wrapped present on these corners. So I'm going to show you how to make those little corners there. And then head on over to our website. You will find kits available. The kit includes all the fabric and the pattern that you're going to need to either make one large or 4 of the smaller size. And the paper pattern is included in those kits. Also, you can get the postcard pattern, the Helpful Heifer gift bag postcard pattern on our website. So go on over to our website, check that out, grab yourself a kit, and let's get started making these. All right, so the first step that we're going to do is we're going to cut out our fabric to the size that we need. Now I've gone ahead and cut out and to make 4 of the smaller size bags. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to make these smaller bags. One of the things that the kit does not provide is your interfacing. You're going to want a lightweight fusible interfacing and a medium weight fusible interfacing. That's going to add some structure to your bag without making it too stiff, but it's going to also keep it stiff enough that it'll stand up pretty well on its own. So go ahead and get yourself some of the lightweight and the medium weight fusible interfacing. You're going to cut out the size of the inside of the bag and the outside of the bag that the pattern tells you to cut out. You're also going to cut out your interfacing and fuse that to your outside and to your lining. So you're going to do the medium weight on your outside, the light weight on your lining. And then once you've done that, it's time to assemble your handles. Now, assembling the handles is pretty easy. You're going to cut out the size of the fabric that you need. We're going to press that. Let me get my ironing surface over here real quick. You're going to press that a lot like we do just about any kind of handle that we have. So I'm going to fold it in half lengthwise, matching the raw edges and the wrong sides together. Once you get that, then you're going to take and fold the raw edges to the inside, right there. And do both of those sides. Now it does say the lightweight fusible interfacing needs to be positioned in the middle here. So go ahead and position that in the middle, fuse that down, fold those back in, and then fold that in half and press that really good. Once you've got that pressed really good, you're going to take that over to your machine and you're going to top stitch down both sides. So you're going to top stitch the opening closed and you're going to top stitch the other side just to make it a nice handle that you're working with. So we've got that. We've got all of our sizes, all of the different handle sizes done. Once you have that top stitch, now we're going to place that in between the layers of the fabric. So I've got my outside fabric and my inside fabric, and I'm going to actually going to find the center of my outside fabric, that right there, and place that on one of my inch marks, just one of my marks, so that I can easily measure off of that. So you're gonna position your handle in 4 inches apart. In order to do that, you're gonna go 2 inches from the center on one side and 2 inches from the center on the other side. And you're just going to place your handle right there on those marks. I kind of centered it in between those 2 inch marks. So once I get that done, I'm going to take this and I'm going to position the lining on top of that, making sure that my handle fabric stays where it needs to go. And if you want to, go ahead and give it a nice little fold so that it stays in position a little bit better, a little bit easier. And then I'm going to take this and clip this, keep the handle in the right position, and clip the lining on top of the outside of the bag, right sides together. You want to make sure it's right sides together. Once we've got this, we're going to stitch a 1/4 inch all the way across here. All right. So now that I've done that, I have made a tube. We want to make our tube, and then we're going to flip it right side out, and we're going to give this a good press. Once you've got this pressed really well, you're going to go ahead and top stitch all the way across. I'm going to take it back over. When I top stitch, I usually use 1/8 of an inch for the top stitch. You can go a little bit more, a little bit less, just make it a nice line all the way across there. It gives a nice finishing touch to your project. Okay. So once we have that top stitch, giving ourselves a nice finished edge on that, we're going to fold this in half. And we want to fold this in half with the insides, or, basically the wrong sides together. So what I have here is the lining fabric that I'm going to fold into, or fold to the inside. And this is going to be really weird, but this is what's called a French seam. So what we're going to do is we're going to go, it's counterintuitive to what we usually do. So we want it to be right side out. We're going to sew a 1/4 inch down both sides. Then we're going to flip it wrong side out and sew again, and it's going to enclose those seams, which, like I said, is called a French seam. Very simple process. It just starts out a little counterintuitive to what we normally do. So I've done that already with this side. I've sewn a 1/4 inch seam down this one side, and now I'm going to sew a 1/4 inch seam down this side, and then we're going to come back and I'm going to show you how to finish out this French seam. So once again, right side out, wrong sides together, 1/4 inch down the side. So the next step that we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and trim this. We want to trim it down to 1/8 of an inch seam allowance instead of our 1/4 inch seam allowance. So now the next step is we're going to go ahead and turn this right side out. Let me get rid of a couple of threads here. We're going to turn this wrong side out, sorry. And we're going to try to do it without raveling that seam too much. The more it gets raveled, the more you're going to end up with extra threads showing through. But get this turned wrong side out. And then I'm just going to make sure that whenever I sew a 1/4 inch down here, and if you get a little bit over a 1/4 inch, that's okay. That's not a problem. But I'm just going to make sure that I sew a 1/4 inch, so it's going to enclose all of that raw edge in that 1/4 inch seam allowance. So I'm going to take this over to the machine and do this again. One of the other things that I like to do is that I like to start a little bit down from the top and backstitch up and then keep going down. That way any stray threads are going to be down here inside of the bag instead of sticking out the top, so you don't get weird threads hanging out the top. It's just a nice little finishing look. So we are almost finished with this. Let's go ahead and trim off a couple of these threads. So now what we're going to do is we're going to turn this right side out. I've got one that I've already done here. Once you get this right side out, you do want to poke out those little corners on the bottom again. And at this point, if you just need to give somebody something in a little gift bag and it doesn't need to stand up or it doesn't need to do anything, you can just use this as your gift bag. Whatever you want to do, however you want to do it. However, if you want to, you can add those little gift wrapped corners, those bottom corners. In the meantime, though, you may notice that whenever you turn this right side out, you may have a thread or two sticking out. That's okay. You can just go and trim that off and take care of that. What I like to do at this point is go ahead and give it a good press. This is going to help you find the bottoms for your boxed corners, for those little gift wrapped corners. So I'm going to give it a good press. I'm rolling that seam to where it's nice and pushed out to the side there. At this point, if what you wanted to do is give a gift in this bag, this is perfect. However, let's go ahead and box these corners. One of the tools that I like to use whenever I box the corners, it is called the Carol's Box Corners Marking Template. This is great for boxing corners in your bags, in any project that you wanted to box the corners with. It also works pretty well whenever you're marking or making these little box corners that we're doing. So what it is it's a little triangle, and it's going to give you your 1-inch box corner, 2-inch, 3-inch, and 4-inch, all the way up to the 5-inch, which is the outside edge here. So whenever I was doing mine, I found that putting it on the 3-inch mark is really kind of a good spot to do it on. And then also I have a couple of safety pins that is going to make it a little bit easier in the long run before you go to hand stitch this. Yes, there is a little bit of hand stitching. You do want to use a little needle and thread to tack the corner where it needs to go. But before you do that, I'm going to put my hand inside, feel for that top seam. And then also I have this crease that I just pressed in here. So I'm going to match that top seam with that crease. And I'm just going to fold a triangle. Just like this. Get that nice and open. Like I said, I found that 3 inches is a pretty good size for this box corner. It doesn't have to be perfectly perfect. Don't stress about that, but you do want to get it to be pretty close. I'm just going to put the outside triangle for the 3-inch on here. I'm also going to line up this center line with my seam line. Make sure that things are pretty well lined up. And then I'm going to grab the fabric underneath and fold that up. So that is where my box is going to come up. Once I do that, I'm going to grab the edge of this and then come in on the inside and grab a safety pin. So my fingers are holding onto the corner of that triangle there. And on the inside, a large safety pin will do. But what this is going to do is this is going to hold it until I can get my needle and thread and get everything in there. So I'm just going to poke the safety pin through. Doesn't matter if you go all the way through everything or if you just go through a couple layers of the outside fabric. Just make sure that you catch that triangle on the outside to where it's not going to let go. And then you can come back with your needle and thread and just do a simple little tack stitch, couple of rounds of a tacking stitch right there. And that will hold up your corner. Once you get both sides done, it's going to hold it up and be a nice little boxed, wrapped gift corner on each side. Okay, so this is the Helpful Heifer gift bag. Like I said, we have fabric kits available. It has all the fabric that you need to make 1 large or 4 of the smaller size in the kit. So go to our website, check that out, find yourself a kit that you like. You can also pick up the pattern. It's a Helpful Heifer gift bag pattern. It is a postcard pattern, so it's a really nice one. Check that out. Go to our website, grab yourself the kit, grab yourself the pattern. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our videos. And thank you so much for watching.
Okay, you wicked cool quilters, good job. You made it to the end. We would like to thank our sponsors, Husqvarna Viking Sewing Machines, Creative Grids, rulers, rotary cutters, and mats, and Wilmington Prints for the beautiful fabrics. Thanks for watching.